What's up, friends of the good mood? This is Manni and welcome to the next match here on War Robots, guys, on my own Android account. And before I go into the video, I want to tell you guys that we're gonna live stream today. Today's Wednesday, so we're gonna start a live stream later as normal with a lot of different things that I want to show you. Some new stuff, maybe combinations you haven't seen yet. So we're gonna do this later with a lot of viewer requests. But let's get back to this video. Have you ever ended up in a team deathmatch match where you had to face an entire 6 people on the other side, but you were alone? Yeah, well, that somehow happened to me. It's at the end of this video, I'm gonna actually end up in a match where the other 5 people were in a squad. They all left, I don't know why, and I ended up being completely alone versus an entire team of 6 players in team deathmatch. How I held myself there and how I tried to maintain a bit of dominance there, you're gonna see later. Let's go and first focus on this match right here. You can see it's my own Android account. I have with Spectre with some Tulumbas. I think level 11, 11, 11, and 8 Tulumbas I have, so I need to bring that one Tulumba with level 8 higher up so it can deal more damage. But, since I don't have additional Tarans or Orkans I could put on this thing, and quite frankly, that's the most powerful setup I may not even want to run, I really enjoy using the Tulumbas. It's a relatively good setup. It deals some good damage without going to completely one-hit kill everybody, and at the same time, you can stay out of range of enemies in many situations and don't have to expose yourself the whole time, right? So it's a setup that lets you live longer, and that's always something I appreciate when I can, influence the battle and be helpful to the team and not at the same time die all the time. So this Camille right there thought he was out of range, but he underestimated the fact that I had these Tulumbas with 500 meters range. The next thing is that the splash radius is so big and good on this thing that you can really you can double splash sometimes enemies. If they close together, just focus and fire between them and you will often double your firepower there. There's Mr. President is coming. He wants me with his hover in the plasma, so I'm waiting for my stealth jump. Since he just landed with a hover, there's a good 10 seconds or 6-7 seconds or something which he can't use to rise up again. He has to wait for the cooldown, and that was more than enough time for Zeus, Can, and me to take him out. A Rhino is always a very welcome target to rockets anyways, because he has no way of protecting himself from this kind of damage. But you can see I was only able to deal like 15% of damage to him. That's because the Tulumbas, although having good range, are incredibly low on DPS, right? The damage per second, or furthermore, the damage per minute is really bad on it. I'm rather use damage per minute because the DPS per second is relatively good at first. When you have fully reloaded, you unleash your whole firepower, you do a good amount of damage to your enemy in your full alpha salvo there. So there's a good DPS at first, but then the reload comes into play, and you reload like 1 rocket every 3 seconds or something, and the DPM is going to be extremely low. So that's why I rather calculate with DPM, because it's the more accurate way of doing it with weapons that have a reloading cycle. So I'm still alive with this one Spectre here, and I'm trying to help the team out on as many places as I can, especially against Kamihos. They're running around everywhere right now because, everyone has gotten a free or many people have gotten a free Kamiho from the supply drops, and it's just a nightmare for everyone running rockets like Orkans. You shoot like 50 rockets there, and he just whoop, dashes once, and all your 40 remaining rockets go into into nowhere. And then, okay, you aim after him, you fire your next 20 rockets, and he whoop, dashes back into the place he was before, and every rocket is gonna miss again. And then you have all your rockets spent, kind of, right? And that's really what makes it so difficult to fight these Kamihos when you're running rockets. And even with Tarans, it's hard to aim at them when they constantly dash around every 3-4 seconds. It's crazy. The only weapons that really have no problem with this is like Zeus, Ion, Shock Train, of course, and Scourge. So weapons that have a wide angle of auto lock on, where you don't have to perfectly aim at the target to just don't care about where he's going, right? That's a bit plus on these weapons. Unfortunately, the Shock Train, which is the big worrying weapon in this game, in my opinion, also has the ability. I wish the Shock Train had to be perfectly aimed, so that if you don't perfectly aim this thing, it's gonna miss. That would kind of balance the weapon a little bit more, right? But yeah, it is what it is. That was the first match here I wanted to show you. We've done, you know, 739,000 damage with the Spectre, and I was able to live for a longer time. In this match here, I'm gonna go with a lot of different things. I'm using my whole variety of a hanger I have on Moon, and then the last match is, as promised, guys, the match where I end up in Team Deathmatch 1 versus 6. That's crazy. Alright, so here we have a hoverbot that goes up. And with 3 Tarons, I can deal with him because my DPS is really good on it. And in case of Tarons, you could actually speak from DPS because you only have a 5-second reload, but a 10-second firing cycle. So you're firing more than you're reloading, and therefore DPS is a relatively good way to describe the damage done by this weapon. I'm using my shield here really good to absorb the damage coming in by this Kamiho. I know I have a reload going. We somehow have a Kamiho standing down there too, trying to capture the beacon, but it's just too much. This is too many enemies sitting in one spot to deal with, and I think, you know, this is Beacon Rush, so I will be able to spawn here, and I'm kind of just waiting for my moment when I die, so I can just hop in here and defend. I know I'm gonna die relatively soon now, so I go in a little bit more aggressively to be able to just scrap the bot and jump into something else. Because look, there's an Haichi coming, and I have to spawn here really fast with something that takes out the Haichi before he can capture the beacon. See, I'm still in range of the beacon, and the beacon cap was stopped. So they didn't get it. Now here I'm making a mistake, and I want to show you the mistake. Let's see if we can quickly target him. See this Griffin right there? I have him targeted right now. He's at 30% health, okay? 30%, that's very little health. I could focus kill him really quickly, but I'm somehow focusing the Haichi first. Yes, the Haichi is a more difficult, you know, more dangerous target, but look at this Griffin. He has Storm on it. That's a Storm Griffin. You don't want to have a Storm standing in your back at close range. No, sir, you don't want that. So I should have really focused this Griffin out first. Because also the Haichi only uses Tulumbas. It's not really that dangerous right now. But it was in my mind, oh god, Haichi, we need to kill it super quick. Thankfully, we were 2 people dealing with this guy, and thankfully somebody took care of the Griffin behind me. But that could have resulted in a major disaster right there if the other Griffin next to me wouldn't have dealt with this really dangerous Griffin in my back. So I've already suffered huge amount of damage, and unfortunately there's an energy shield coming in right when I targeted the other Griffin there. But I'm still quick enough to focus here on get into this match here. Fire my aphids once, and I think, wait a minute, I think my aphids have never been able to deal any damage. Or they went into the shield, I'm not sure. I just spawned there and I got 3 versus 1 instantly killed right there. Man, that was crazy. That was really bad. And the problem was this Carnage with the Thunders and the full shielding. Never, ever in a long time, okay, let's put it like this, in a very long time I have not seen any Carnage do that well with Thunders. Usually Thunder Carnage is like the victim of the game. You can't really do much with it because you need to get so close, and against Haichis and Bulgazaris you deal next to no damage with shotgun weapons anyways, because they have this ridiculously small hitbox for whatever reason, and yeah, it just ends up being really very ineffective. But in this case, this Thunder Carnage has come at the exact right time to turn the tide around here. If it wasn't for this Thunder Carnage, we would have been able to hold that beacon. That was a great job by this guy, man. We have to really give him some props for this. And here I'm back in the last bot here remaining, the Spectre with Tulumbas again, trying to deal with this Ancelot. But you know, here's the problem with the low DPM of the Tulumbas. You can barely penetrate the energy shield of this thing. So basically, the shield generates energy as much as you regenerate firepower. So you're never gonna end up actually dealing any damage really with the Tulumba bot. With 4 of them on a Spectre, you can still do it, but, you know, here, see what I'm doing? I'm firing between these 2 guys, because I'm double splashing. I'm having the right guy focused, but I'm focusing to the left so that I can hit both of them. This is why this Haichi has already lost all its health almost, because I hit both people, the Raijin and the Haichi, simultaneously with the same rockets. And that's pretty cool. I'm safe here behind this column because he can't really target me with the Zeus. That's why I'm just staying here, firing into him, and, Yeah, we turned around the beacon once again. We got it under our control. I have the stealth jump ready. I have most of my rockets regenerated, so I'm gonna open fire. But look, it's already empty. 1.5 seconds of firing, and I'm empty again. So here, once again, I'm double splashing into these guys, trying to hit them both. And I did manage to do this, and whenever you have the chance, you run Tulumbas or Trident, something with a big splash radius, try to do this. You're really gonna end up doing more firepower right there. Alright, so now guys, we're gonna have a look at the most crazy and ridiculous round I've ever seen. Let's just have a look at how much damage we have done. 1,100,000, it wasn't bad, but unfortunately my dog was unable to do much. But here it is. Okay, so team deathmatch on power plant. At first it looked like a normal round, and then I was like here, why is no one spawning in? The enemy isn't coming, my team isn't coming, it's like I'm the only one on this battlefield right now. So I'm like, okay, whatever, I'm gonna just go and try to go close to the enemy. One enemy spawns in, two enemies, and I'm like, okay, cool, at least people are coming now. I don't know why they're taking so long, but they're coming, finally. And then at some point I realized that somehow my team isn't coming. And what I think happened here is that there was a match coming in. There was a match with two full squads. Both full squads exited the match, and now the matchmaker had to find new people to replace these full squads of people, which means the matchmaker had to find into a running match 10 people to run into. So I'm waiting for the right moment to launch these rockets here, and even though the Rogatka was just basically landing at that very moment, I was still unable to deal any damage with the aphid. I don't know why, but it seems like my aphids aren't dealing any damage even though they are level 11 or so they are not that bad. I think they should be much better. Anyways, a Death Button Griffin comes in, whooping the rest of that Rogatka, and then killing this Taran Kamiho right in front of me, who was reloading for a few seconds, thankfully. But the problem is, you know, this is a full squad of, these are 6 enemy players on the other side, and some of them are running Hydras. I have lost a lot of damage to Hydra rockets. Here they come again. See that? Spirals, Hydras, everything is coming. More Hydras coming from the right side, and it's just incredible. I can't do anything. I can't go anywhere without taking damage, you know? I have to kind of just wait here and get into a spot where maybe, hopefully, I'll be able to damage somebody without taking all too much damage myself immediately. Look at the amount of rockets coming in, what the heck? 1 versus 6. Every one of my team is just gone. I'm the only one here. Come on, dudes. And I'm just trying to stay alive here. It's 2 versus 2 now, okay? Yeah, we killed, in team-wise, I killed 2, the enemy team killed 2. So now I killed 3 with the Haichi here, but look how many enemies are firing at me. 2 Ancelots with 4 Tarans firing at me. The Hydra bots is coming, and all these guys are all firing at me. I'm focusing the Griffin right here because he's got lower HP and no physical shield, but I can't do anything. They're just coming for me. The army of darkness is rushing over me and I can't do anything about it. I only have the Doc now and the Spectre. So my plan here is to, it's 3 versus 3 now, my plan is to focus out the rest of that Griffin. And I think I'll be able to do that relatively quickly. So Griffin is gone, we have Spirals, Hydras, everything's coming in now. I'm trying to hide behind this building now, okay. So, what is it gonna be now? We're gonna have to wait and see what happens. I have the stealth jump ready, I'm regenerating my Tulumbas, and I have to jump now and activate stealth. And thankfully, I find this little aphid or spiral pattern with very little health that I can finally eliminate really quickly. And with that now, it's 5 versus 3. I'm actually in the lead now. But of course, I'm going to die now with the stealth ability gone. And everyone ready. They're sitting at my spawn, look at this. I can't kill anybody here now because they're all too close together. And my solution is to spawn at point Z all the way over to the left side where there's no one of those guys, and hoping I'll be able to somehow, I don't know, focus somebody. But then I realized that, oh man, you know what, they still have the Hydra Fujin. So I'm here on an elevated position, and the Hydra Fujin is gonna have a blast time with me right here. All rockets will be hitting me perfectly well. So I thought, okay, although I have spawned in a way where I could focus somebody, I have to walk away here. There's no way for me to do anything here. Then they have line of sight with me here, and I've already lost half my bot before I could even do anything. And the Hydra Fujin is firing again. I'm like, oh man, how would I ever gonna kill anybody? I'm still in the lead, but in order to keep the lead, I have to kill somebody. And I knew that Griffin would jump at me in a second, so I waited for it, just walking out of the range for a second if he comes. And there's another Griffin coming in, and I'm like, oh man. Alright, no chance. But now I thought, okay, it's a draw. Having a draw in a 1 versus 6 isn't too bad, but then I realized, oh man, I can't spawn any further bots, so that means the battle ends because my team was unable to place any further bots on the field. So although it looked like a draw, it's now a defeat because it was, you know, we were unable to put more battle bots into the field. But man, was that a crazy and ridiculous match. I've never seen anything like it. And of course, undoubtedly, I have the highest damage dealt in this round because, you know, there was nobody else having that many targets. And that's how it happened. The UA clan was with me, apparently. I got matched with those guys. And I don't know why, but they somehow all left the game, and I ended up being alone. I'm not sure why the matchmaker didn't find anyone to replace those guys and put them into my medal. I don't know why, but you know, in any way, we were here having a match that I have never seen before. And I thought that's really something interesting to share with you guys. Keep in mind, we're gonna live stream today, same time as always here on War Robots. Hopefully you're ready for it, and until then, thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, leave a like and comment down below, and if you haven't already, hit subscribe. It's brutal as a man can it for more. Thanks for bearing with me. You guys are awesome as always. Manni-Gaming signing off. Bye-bye.